Hello and welcome to another SWP Showcase. Today I bring you the LSWR S15. I'm going to start not with the history of this class but with a confession. Now you probably know, if you've been around my channel any amount of time, that my allegiance is firmly with the GWR. However, my great granddad would have been somewhat displeased with this. He was an engine driver at Guildford Shed for the Southern Railway. So, in some sort of family solidarity, I do have somewhat of a soft spot. I can't believe I'm saying this. Right, yes, a soft spot for Monsell designs, but also the S15. Doesn't mean I like them, but yeah, a soft spot. Right, anyway, with that rubbish out of the way, let's get on with it. Designed by Robert Urie as mid to heavy freight engines for the London and South Western Railway, the first batch of 20 S15s were built between 1920 and 21. With a tapered boiler, 2 outside cylinders and Walschaerts valve gear, these standard parts could be interchangeable between themselves, N15s, and with the exception of the boilers, the H15s. Now this sounds very familiar to me. No, sorry, I promise I won't mention the GWR in this video again. Anyway, this first batch of pure Urie designs were mostly allocated around the London area. Then, in 1923, the LSWR became part of the Southern Railway as part of the Grouping Act. Urie retired and a certain Richard Maunsell became CME of the so-called Southern Railway. He delayed the next batch of locomotives till he'd made modifications to the design. The modified S15s were built between 1927 and 28. They had a higher boiler pressure of 200 psi, new cab design and longer valve travel, and larger outside steam pipes. Some would say Monsell took what they considered to be a perfectly capable design and still managed to make it better. This must have been somewhat true, as the third and final batch, built in 1936, continued to be built with Monsell's modifications, and the final cherry on the cake was the smoke deflectors, which gave them their Monsell family resemblance. The S15s enjoyed a long and varied career, known mostly for working the heavy overnight goods trains between London, Southampton and Exeter, but also more than capable to take on passenger work during busy summer periods. Thanks to their mixed traffic abilities, the last of these engines lasted right up until 1966. 7 have been preserved. So, what can you expect to find in the Bossman Games pack? You get 4 different versions of the S15 in the pack: olive green with and without smoke deflectors, and Monsell black with and without smoke deflectors. As part of the pack, you get a selection of bullied coaches, including the 59-foot brake third, the 64-foot and 6 inches brake third with the head-out passenger view, 59-foot composite and a 64-foot 6-inch composite. You get authentic whistle sounds using space, V and Control V on the keyboard. Much like the clan that JT made, you also get an awesome opening smokebox door with the boiler tubes visible, realistic steam chest simulation, realistic brake simulation with various brake modes, various disc and lamp codes, firing using the R button for a more precise firing experience, and also an advanced auto fireman scripted specifically by BMG. You get dynamic smoke effects and fire mass, and you get 3 scenarios for the West Somerset Railway, which you'll need to have purchased for them to work. But if you don't have the West Somerset Railway, the S15 is fully quick drive compatible, and for all your scenario making needs, there are consists available to place straight down in the editor. So, what are my thoughts? The S15s were incredibly capable machines, and this has been faithfully recreated here in Train Simulator. Ben at Bossman Games is now well known for his myriad of Midland add-ons, quite rightly so. They are the most detailed and advanced steam locomotives Train Sim has ever seen, and you can see the beginnings of this here in the S15. From firing via the R key to the realistic simulation of the steam chest and brake modes available, they are all things that now epitomise Bossman products, and in a way, I'm glad this humble S15 was the engine that started it off. Driving this engine can be as easy or as hard as you want to make it. With the use of the auto fireman and legacy/realistic driving modes, there's little wonder this is a TS Pro product on Steam. Not to be overshadowed by the features of this locomotive, the sounds are also on point, with a bark you'd expect from something a little more western. I can understand that some people may find the method of firing on this locomotive to be annoying. I can definitely sympathise on that front, as when I first bought this DLC last year I felt exactly the same. But gradually as I went back to driving it, having also driven the most recent BMG products, I have warmed up to the R key firing. Also, the basic whistle is a little disappointing but is well made up for by the variety given with the V and Control V versions. Mostly swallowed up in the variety available from all devs these days, the S15 is often overlooked and underappreciated as a piece of DLC that Southern fans must have been only too happy to have in their collection. For those who haven't picked it up but have considered it, I definitely recommend it. Believe me, this is all high praise from a GWR fan.